Hey guys, so I'm just gonna make a quick rundown video on the changes, the preseason changes, and just make it kind of quick for you guys to know what's gonna happen. Um, so first off, you got objective bounties, which is really good way to make one-sided games less one-sided, which is always pretty good. So this basically highlights objectives on the map that you can take with your team that will give you all bonus gold. So seems like a pretty interesting mechanic when you're behind. You can trade objectives and come out on top a little bit. So ways to make the game less one-sided off of early game snowballs is always amazing. So pretty good change. I'm happy about this. It'll extend the length of games, which I like having longer games. I don't like having fast games or snowball games. That's pretty annoying way to play the game. But this is gonna be more of a macro type, slower type way to play the game, which I enjoy a lot. So it's pretty good. And jungle changes. You got two new dragons. You got the Chemtech dragon, which the soul gives you like a guardian angel effect if you revive, and you get a pretty big buff off of that. And the buff is kind of like last stand from the precision tree, where if you have lower health than your opponent, or when you're low HP, you'll deal more damage. So it's kind of interesting, like a bruiser, kind of going in, getting, getting aggro type of stuff. It's pretty interesting. And the Hextech Dragon, which basically the strongest thing is the soul effect, which gives you a pretty OP slow. The slow is pretty OP. It lasts for 2 seconds, and it's such a strong amount that scales. So the Hextech seems stronger than the Chemtech, the Hextech, but we'll see how it plays out. And there's this new mechanic, which is Hex Gates. You can um, teleport across the map or something. Yeah, so you can see in this picture how there's the portals. You can go into the portals and it teleports you to certain places in the map. So each team has access to uh, two sets of portals. I'm not sure how many sets of portals these are, but yeah, these teleport you to the wolves, for example. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Just makes it faster to get to places on the map and get to one location to another and stuff. So it's interesting. And this change is huge. The first Scuttler gives 80%, 80% less experience, which is huge. So it's gonna reduce the raging in the early game and inting for the Scuttle and all the stress that comes with the Scuttler, which I love. So we got that item. We got that change. And new items. You get this item for squishy mages. Gives you like a Malzahar passive, where you're protected until you take damage. Um, yeah, 75% reduction for 1.5 seconds after taking damage. So it's like Malzahar. It's like a Malzahar passive, but it gives you damage protection, which is pretty good. This item's like an offensive locket, even shroud. So you debuff the enemy champions that are nearby. This is interesting. Opposite of locket, basically. There's some boring items. And then this is an interesting item. It's very decent item for tanks who need a lot of mana. pretty good stats on it when you stack it to the Fimbul Winter. When you stack it to this, it has really good stats. Has a lot of utility in terms of the shielding that you get. So this, I think I'm gonna be using this item a lot. Winter's Approach. I like it. I like what it can mean for tank champions in terms of utility. So you can go for a lot of ability haste on these tank champions. And yeah, seems pretty good item. And yeah, tank items. So tank champions got buffed this patch. Bami's got a little bit of a buff for last hitting on lane, which is nice. Frostfire got a pretty big buff in terms of damage, which is great. Chem Tank got a stack-based passive. So kind of like if you had Fleet Footwork. So you get a stack at 100, you deal damage to all champs. So it helps you wave clear. It deal damage to all enemies. So this is the new way to wave clear, and it gives you some movement speed and stuff. I'm not really too interested in this item, honestly. Sunfire got a little bit of a buff, but the big winner is Frostfire Gauntlet. Got a huge buff, so this will be my favorite tank item to try right now. But basically, all tank items got buffed a little bit, but Frostfire got a big buff. Force of Nature. This item got a new mechanic, which is percentage reduced magic damage. So instead of getting magic resist, now you get a percent of that magic damage reduced, which is really strong. So it's like a mini Alistar ulti against mages, basically. It's pretty good, and all these stats got even buffed. Like this got 10, you got 10 more magic resist. So I mean, it's pretty good. It's better than it was before, so for sure it's better. Force of Nature, really good magic resist item now. And see, you see a little bit of buffs to Aegis, like 100 gold buff to Stoneblade. So it's pretty all across strong buff to tank champions and stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see. Everfrost, a little bit of a price decrease, so you can get it earlier. Demonic Embrace is more for bruisers that get bonus health and 1 AP. It's kind of a meh item, not too happy with Demonic Embrace. But yeah, Archangel Staff got changed. So this is a strong item for AP bruiser mages, like AP tanky champions. Kind of like how Old Swain. Like Old Swain would build this item every game, basically. It doesn't give you AP anymore, but it gives you a lot of haste. So that's basically the big change. You get a lot of haste, and you restore health equal to mana spent. So kind of like Rod of Ages. And toggles can restore the same amount. So if it was Old Swain, this would be perfect. Because yeah, he had his toggle that drained mana and stuff. But yeah. Cosmic Drive got a pretty big buff also. You get yeah, it just got all across the map. It got buffed. Like I don't know why they buffed this item so much, but yeah, Cosmic Drive. It's really strong right now. Really strong item. You get a buff that stays with you until you leave combat. It's too good. It's too good. These images are meh. Doran's Ring got a bit of a change. Now it works like a Doran shield, basically. You get stacking, regeneration, depending on the combat. So it's kind of interesting. Lethality items got minor changes. Doesn't really matter much. And then you go into the runes. But yeah, basically, off of all these changes, the biggest takeaway is that tanky AP champions, I feel like will be stronger now. Like maybe like a Singed, maybe Vladimir a little bit. I'm not sure who would benefit a lot from this, but yeah, AP Brewster champs would be really good with this. Um, but yeah, you get first strike, which just gives you gold and stuff. I'm not sure how good this is. Glacial Augment got buffed, so it actually has utility now for team fights. And this is the biggest change that's relevant for top lane, lethal tempo. Um, I used to run this on Tristan and Corki, but I'm not going to do that anymore. This basically kills those champions because the buff for range champions is so abysmal. 5%, a third of what melee champions get, is so low. It's not worth it. Yeah, this is potentially broken for melee champions, and it seems much better than Conqueror on a lot of champions. But this is like Conqueror for this is like an attack speed version of Conqueror basically now. So you got Conqueror that gives AD and AP, lethal tempo that's like a Conqueror but with attack speed. And this is broken. Level 1, you can get 90% attack speed on this thing for and it lasts for 6 seconds. So you can like deny your opponents from walking into lane and stuff. Just pretty stupid. Uh yeah, it's just much better for melee champions. So this is gonna be pretty broken right now. They're gonna have to change this because this is pretty stupid, honestly. This balancing, but anyway, hope you like the rundown. And yeah, I'm gonna be uploading videos of these changes and trying this stuff out. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the content.